This small piece of water is one of the most important seas in the history of mankind. This is the Black Sea, situated between Europe and Asia. This sea at the crossroads of the world has been the lifeline of many empires for thousands of years. From ancient Greek to Ottoman Empire and even today, this sea is very important for world powers like Russia and NATO. In fact, it would not be wrong to say that the Black Sea is Russia's biggest power source. But why is it so? What is so special about this landlocked sea that it is called the lifeline of Russia? To know the answer to this question, we need to understand the history, geography and strategic importance of this sea. In today's video, we are going to tell you the story of the Black Sea, which you might not have heard before. But here is, subscribe the channel first. Now let's move towards the amazing geography of the Black Sea. The Black Sea is surrounded by 6 countries and looks just like a lake. To its north is Russia and Ukraine, to its east is Georgia, to its south is Turkey, while on the western side are Rome and Bulgaria. Sharing borders with so many countries means that all the countries present here use this sea for their trade and defense. There is only one way for the Black Sea to stay connected with the rest of the world, and that is through this 700-meter wide Bosporus Strait. Through this strait, all the ships come from the Black Sea to the Marmara Sea and then cross the Durdle Strait and go out into the Mediterranean Sea. Both these choke points are under the control of Turkey and are the only way to connect the Black Sea with the rest of the world. Talking about Bosphorus trade, it has always been very important for international trade. Every day thousands of oil tankers and commercial ships of these Black Sea countries pass through here to reach the rest of the world. Now since this shock point is under the control of Turkey, its geopolitical importance is also very high. These 6 countries sharing the coastline with the Black Sea rely on this sea for their own benefit. Ukraine exports grain to the rest of the world through its OSA port. Georgia trades with the Caucasus countries through Batu and Plovdiv seaports, while Romania and Bulgaria connect Eastern Europe to the international market through their seaports. Talking about Russia, the Black Sea is not just water for it but is the lifeline of its trade, energy and military power. For example, let us talk about 2 seaports of Russia, Novorossiysk and Sevastopol. Novorossiysk, built in the 19th century, is Russia's largest port in the Black Sea, and from here Russia exports its oil and grain to the rest of the world. Similarly, Sevastopol was built in 1783 when Russia captured Kamchatka, and since then till today it is the hub of Russia's naval strategy. The biggest advantage of these ports is that they work all year round as compared to Russia's Arctic ports, because there is no ice here. The geography of the Black Sea also provides Russia with a natural protection, but this landlocked geography also means that Russia's access to the rest of the world is dependent on its relations with Turkey and other NATO member countries, and we will talk about the relationship of these countries later in the video. But before that, let me tell you that it is not that the importance of the Black Sea has been created only in modern times. Rather, this sea has been a critical factor in the rise and fall of civilizations present here for thousands of years. Let us start with the ancient Greeks, who started building their colony on the coastline of the Black Sea in the 8th century BCE. Large and advanced cities like Byzantium were built. The biggest reason for the development of these cities was their access to the Black Sea. The Black Sea was the hub of trade for the Greeks, and through this they also imported grains, fish and even slaves. After this, the Romans first they occupied this area in the 15th century BCE, and the Black Sea became a very important part of their trade network. To control the trade routes of the Black Sea, the Roman Empire built cities like Shiraz Nis and Padak Payam, which are today called Crimea and Kerch. After this, the Romans built garrisons here so that they could protect themselves from the attacks of the barbarians. After the collapse of the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire took control of the Black Sea. Because of these trade routes of the Black Sea, Constantinople, which was at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, became the richest city in the world. The Byzantine Empire used the Black Sea not only for trade but also for its defense and to spread Christianity to the Slavic people of Eastern Europe. Then in the middle of the 15th century, the Ottomans occupied Constantinople, and from here began the control of the Ottoman Empire over the Black Sea. The Ottomans established their monopoly on the trade of this entire region through the Black Sea, and then established the trade of the same sea. Through this, the Russian Empire expanded its influence to Eastern Europe, the Caucasus and the Middle East. Then in the 18th century, the Russian Empire emerged as a major player in the Black Sea. In 1783, under the leadership of Catherine the Great, Russia captured Crimea and made Sevastopol its naval base. This was a sign that the Russian Empire was now going to challenge the Ottoman Empire in the Black Sea. Russia's attempt to increase its influence in the Black Sea led to a direct clash with the interests of Britain, France and the Ottoman Empire, resulting in the 18,533 major superpowers. In the 20th century, the Black Sea was the focal point of strategic maneuvers in both the World Wars and the Cold War. In World War I, the Black Sea was an important battleground for the Russian and Ottoman navies. The Ottoman Navy was trying to control the Black Sea equipped with German weapons, while Russia's Black Sea Fleet was protecting its supply lines and coastal cities. The Black Sea would be even more important in World War I, when on one side there was Germany and on the other side there was the Battle of the Black Sea. By taking control of the Black Sea, its partner countries cut off Soviet supply lines and reached the Caucasian oil fields. On the other hand, the Soviet Black Sea Fleet played a very important role in controlling ports like Sevastopol and Odessa. Similarly, during the Cold War, the Black Sea remained a focal point between NATO and the countries of the Warsaw Pact. In fact, when NATO was formed, in response to that, the Soviet Union made a defense treaty. This treaty included the Soviet Union and 7 European countries such as Poland, East Germany, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Rome, Bulgaria and Albania. The aim of all these countries was that they should all remain united against NATO. After this treaty, the Soviet Union had built a heavily fortified naval base on its coastline in the Black Sea. The Black Sea Fleet stationed in this base was the main defense line of Moscow. The submarines and warships of the Soviet Union not only monitored this entire area, but also kept a close watch on the Mediterranean and Atlantic Ocean. On the other hand, the Black Sea was also an opportunity for NATO, and the challenge was that Turkey, which controlled the Bosporus and Strait, was a NATO member. So, NATO had control of 2 very strategic choke points, through which it could choke the supply lines of the Soviet Union at any time, and that is why during the Cold War, NATO warships used to circle around these straits. The Black Sea came into the limelight the most during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. When the Soviet Union put its navy on complete high alert. During this entire period, from 1960 to late 1980, the Black Sea remained the center of military exercises and intelligence gathering. But this was also the time when the Soviet Union penetrated Eastern Europe and the Middle East through the Black Sea. Well, it was the cooperation center of the Soviet Union in 1991. And even today it is. In March 2011, when Russia captured Crimea, the reason for that was also its strategic location, because Crimea has access to deep water ports and all major shipping routes. 2014. After that, Russia has greatly increased its military hold in the Black Sea. Now state-of-the-art submarines, warships and missile systems have been installed here so that any aggression from NATO countries can be countered. Similarly, Russia has been conducting its military operations in Middle Eastern countries, especially Syria, through the Black Sea. And then in 2022, when Russia attacked Ukraine, the Black Sea Russian fleet also had a very important role in it. Through this fleet, Russia attacked Ukraine with the Caliber cruise missile. The biggest advantage of launching missiles from the Black Sea was that from here these missiles could hit targets deep inside Ukraine, and secondly, by controlling the Black Sea, Russia easily cut the supply lines of its army in southern Ukraine, and also disrupted its trade access with the rest of the world. So far we have talked only about the military importance of the Black Sea, but the Black Sea is just about military power. It is also an economic lifeline for Russia because it is the Black Sea. It connects Russia to the important trade markets of the world. 30% of Russia's exports, including oil and gas, pass through this sea to reach the rest of the world. And Russia earns billions of dollars in revenue from this. Similarly, there are huge reserves of natural gas in the Black Sea, and due to control over these resources, Russia also influences the energy markets of the whole of Europe. The biggest development in the Black Sea in the last few years is the Turk Stream pipeline. This is a project through which Russia is supplying gas to Turkey and southern Europe by bypassing Ukraine, and in this way, Russia's dependence on these politically volatile trade routes has reduced. At present, this is the only pipeline through which Russian gas is going to Europe, but energy is just one piece of the puzzle. The Black Sea is also very important for the food security of the whole world. Russia and Ukraine are called the breadbasket of the world because these two countries export 30% of the world's wheat and Mariupol. Seaports are the most important gateway for transporting grains to the Middle East, Africa and Asia, and that is why if there is even a slight blockage in the trade routes of the Black Sea, then the markets of the whole world are shaken. Its biggest example is when Russia blocked Ukraine food exports in 2022, then food prices increased a lot. Like energy and food exports, the Black Sea is also a hub of shipping industry. The ports present here handle trade worth billions of dollars from metals to chemicals. Its biggest example is Rosyth port, which is Russia's biggest port. And from here coal and fertilizers are exported to the whole world. The Black Sea is rich in another resource, and that is wind energy. As the world is moving towards sustainable energy sources, countries are evaluating the potential of wind energy of the Black Sea. Countries like Romania and Bulgaria are working on using their large coastline along the Black Sea for wind energy. Turkey and Ukraine have also started feasibility studies to utilize wind energy. If these initiatives are successful, they will reduce the dependence of this entire region on oil and gas to a great extent. But for Russia, more than these economic benefits, the Black Sea is the biggest source of its national security. Through this Black Sea, Russia maintains its economic and political influence in Europe, the Middle East and other continents. And this is where another player enters the picture, and that is none other than NATO. The Black Sea is also very critical for NATO.